Hello ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for joining me on this, my journey into the constraints-led approach for BJJ. My name is Sam Battlefields, and I am taking you on this journey, and thank you for joining me. Now, Ebbinghaus forgetting curve. Ebbinghaus? Ebbinghaus. Don't worry about it. A curve about forgetting. Alright? Now, interleaving was the topic of the day a couple of days ago, and I've pretty much forgotten about 60%. I literally couldn't even keep my own joke under wraps. So anyway, I wanted to throw this infographic up. It was shared in the Discord. I don't know who this is, but I figure I'll just let everyone see that so that it looks like I'm very scientific and sourcing my informations. As you can also probably tell, I am a little less bearded. I just needed a bit of a change. I'm sorry if that hurts. It's hurting my 3-year-old son, who keeps telling me to put my beard back on and wear it more often. My daughter is fine with it though, so it's very temporary, ladies and gentlemen, very temporary. It will be back on in a couple of months at the very earliest. Anyway, getting into back attacks week. Back attacks. Here's the thing. When you play a whole game scenario, you actually have to incorporate, even when, obviously, if you're incorporating, if you're teaching defense, you need to be attacking. If you're teaching escape, which is a form of defense, then the person, in some cases, needed to be attacking to a degree. So, Alex and I spoke about, good segue, actually. Did a interview with Alex today, so my coach. So you get the benefit of that tomorrow. Just giving you the heads up. This is a great conversation. I found out a bit more about Alex's history, how he came about looking into CLA, and what he's looking to do moving forward with it. It really is a cool conversation. He came about. I'd highly recommend watching it. It would show you a different entry into CLA, and it's very different to obviously he introduced me to it, but the way he got introduced to it was a little different to how I did. So, well, quite a significant difference, but I think it's actually pretty cool because check it out. I won't spoil the interview, but yeah, it's pretty cool. But yeah, so fuck. Now I've got to remember what I was saying before I segued off my own segue. I was saying that we're talking about how you had to simulate attacks, not necessarily finish attacks, but you had to be able to simulate attacks, and we were discussing various sort of methods, and I was talking about how one of my methods to simulate, but not actually, like when you're defending, and we were looking at sort of getting out of the legs. I didn't want there to be no concern about what was going on up here, right? So I put in a constraint where I put in a winning, winning goal for the person on the back to have their forearm underneath the chin and their whole palm on the shoulder. He was talking about how in gi, just getting the gi to the other side, so from here to the other side, and how that, and we've gone through it, we've discussed it on this channel before, how you're kind of navigating the chaos of an actual grappling situation. You don't need to teach, okay, and then you put on, and then you squeeze. You don't need to teach that end part, because the end part is already a foregone conclusion if you have set everything right up until that point, right? So, anyway, I'll come back to that. Started the session today with boxing, so just anything on the shoulders or the torso. Started with lead hand, okay? So here's something, right? I started with the lead hand, torso, and chest. And I have started, and this is really cool, like, I have started to shift my stances a heap, alright? And part of that is because I'm used to a goofy, like, I'm used to a southpaw stance, orthodox, that's what I'm thinking. Fucking skateboarding. I'm used to facing off against an orthodox, but having all the issues that an orthodox facing me has, which is facing a southpaw, which is your lead hand clashes lead hand. You have to get around or up and through to get the uppercuts, to get through that lead hand. And because I'm more often in that situation, I've become a little bit more attuned. However, people have become attuned to me doing that. So I've now started switching to, like, instead of switching my base, I'm like walking forward kind of at them and putting something straight down the middle. I'm talking intrinsic here, sorry guys, but it's something that I'm really enjoying, is my ability to switch up my attacks and keep, my lead hand is getting through because I'm changing what my lead hand is. Yeah, that's a great way to put it. And then we added to that, and the goal was to touch the foot on the thigh. Only the lead foot though. So lead foot, lead hand. And I think I'm going to do that with pads next time, because I definitely got leg checked a few times, even though it was only going light. We were definitely a bit harder than than accustomed to, that's for sure. And that was fun as well. Lots of openings. The other thing with this is I made a sort of Quidditch situation where the golden snitch was a single leg. So if you could get a single leg, the game stopped. Whereas the game was continuous until until the time was up, or someone got a single leg. Ugh. Oh yeah. One thing I'm really liking about Ridwan is he actually attacks those. He will just go for it, which is he will go for those wrestling style, freestyle wrestling style takedowns. Maybe because he's a bit lower to the ground, but he really does use the affordances that are provided to him, being that he is lower to the ground, stockier, shorter, and very, very mobile. He's in and out, and then all of a sudden he'll be in and he'll have your single leg. So that's really cool. Guard, I wanted to bring back in. Just breaking posture. Main reason being is because of what's on the screen. So all right, we might be a bit further along here, like time-lapse days, right? But over time, that's still... So, hang on, let me do this. Over time, that's still... No, don't worry about it. But, yeah, so we were doing, close guard, or guards, a month ago or something, and I'd already forgotten a whole heap of stuff. So, during back control last week, I was trying to do sort of the Venn diagram of... pocket guard, take the back, or put them on their back. But then I was like, oh, okay, well, how do we get to guard? Why, yes, we've got the back, but how have we got that arm across? And then why would you get that arm across? Well, obviously it's because you want to take the back. Okay, but how do you do that? And so if they're in your guard, okay, well, you've got to break their posture, etc., etc. So that was just a game, again, looking at the why, and trying to force me to remember. I mean, a lot of this is for myself, but I'm finding that a heap of what I do for myself works for my guys. So, so it was continuous. It was just build up, and build up posture, break posture, build up posture, break posture. There was a few things I didn't do until I did, but I would love to do them a lot earlier, because there is a significant amount of shitty, wasted energy that could be avoided, essentially. Onto the main serve, which is back control. The goal, so the person with the back control, they had to isolate one arm behind their back, behind the person's back. However that may be, I gave I should have said however that may be and just left it at that. But I did demonstrate, getting it with a foot. In hindsight, I probably wouldn't have done that, and in hindsight, I probably would have had a secondary goal, which would have been, and chin control or something like that, or and an underhook on the other side, or something along those lines. I'm going to. It's Aaron's class tomorrow, so I'm going to let him do it, and then I'm going to work off probably this, but maybe some of his stuff as well. but the hand behind the back, their arm behind their back, had to be for 3 seconds. I found this to be a lot more difficult than I expected. Again, I'm finding I'm not really in flow with this. I'm like, too many mind, no mind, right?
Too many mind?
Mind the soul, mind the people what? Mind the enemy. Too many mind. No mind.
Sage. Yeah, I definitely back control is something that I've really enjoyed working on this week, or the last couple of weeks, or the last week and a half at least. On Saturday I put myself in back control over and over and over and over again, and I just worked on what are the key things, and I think maybe I'm overthinking it, which is very likely considering I'm sitting here talking to the camera and overthinking it and telling you that I'm overthinking it. But yeah, I'll come back to you at the end of this week, because there's moments where I'm having these moments of clarity where I'm kind of confident in what I'm doing, and then there's moments where I'm not confident at all, and yeah. Anyway, I think I want to leave it at this one, just for the time being. And yeah, like, comment, subscribe. Let me know if this is annoying you. Stick around. I've got some awesome content coming up. Speak to you soon.